I believe in you. Of course, I also believe in Bigfoot, so don't get too excited. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We're going to talk about the shopping list for the new set 21, and it's going to be short and to the point, let's hope. We also have focused Datacron priority stuff. Here's my new Datacron infographic, folks. Go find it. You can find a link to get the nice image. Don't just take a screenshot of this, or you can if you want, but you can get the full actually nice image on my Discord server. It's found the link is found in the video description. Go check that out, folks. It's cool and stuff, but we're not going to just go through this. We're going to talk about specific factions and the implications of what's going on. But first, we're going to say thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for everything. And guys, please just hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm. I spent all night working on this, folks. I need to go to bed. But I wanted to get this video to you and the infographic to you so you can make good decisions when the new fixed Datacron set comes out. So, I sacrificed my body for you. That sounded a lot like I was claiming to be Jesus, and I did not. I claim no affiliation, well, of that sort with him. So, let's get to it, folks. This Datacron set is a little bit weaker, and I'm not counting the focus Datacrons with it because you're only going to get a maximum of 4 teams with the focus Datacrons, and they cost a lot, and a lot of people can't even use them that much. So instead, we're going to mostly talk about the new set that's coming out, that's already out. You can buy materials for it now if you want. This one is kind of weaker, though. It's driven by some pretty strong level 6s. There's some decent things in each of the factions that we'll discuss. The stats are about utility. This is the closest that I've seen to back-to-back stat sets that are almost identical to each other. So set 21 is what we're in right now. Set 20 was the one we actually still have it, and the only difference between those two sets, folks, is they took out offense percentage and instead added potency. That's fine. I don't really care. It's a pretty nice utility set. There's 7 of them instead of there used to be 6 way back in the day, remember? So it's tough to, if you want to reroll, you have to get pretty lucky. If you want to get a really nice, consistent, if you're like, oh man, I really want all potency stats on one Datacron, it's going to be pretty tough to get a full, a mono stat Datacron, but you don't really need to, I don't think. I mean, Armor Pen is really nice. Remember, that only works for people who do, or for characters who do physical damage. Special damage is totally different. So yeah, as far as just mechanics go, folks, there's mostly just strong level 9s. Light Side has some pretty good level 3s. You can find out about which ones those are on my infographic. And of course, the focus Datacrons we'll talk about a little bit later. We will talk about them though. So the first faction we have is Sith. And, okay, so Lord Vader is a Sith, remember, and I think he likes these Datacrons pretty well. The thing to keep in mind, of course, is that a lot of people will have the bespoke cron for Apo, which is the new dark side clone trooper, that's going to be the start of the new Lord Vader team. And so, if you yourself or your opponent is going to end up having the full clone team, you're probably going to want to use the Apo bespoke cron, if we're just being real. Otherwise, Lord Vader is a Sith, and he probably likes this set pretty well. He doesn't really care about the other set. I mean, the other set's fine as well. Who cares, man? Just a reminder, so the Traya team is probably the one that we're going to be looking at the most in terms of who gets this. We also, like, Sith Eternal Emperor is a Sith. He could use this set as well. You could keep with the old one. Who cares as well about that one? Who knows? But yeah, Darth Talon with with Traya seems pretty nice here, folks. The Darth Taloncron isn't like broken, but she's doing some interesting stuff with fear and all of that. And then Darth Bane and Pointy Teeth Rey, they might like this set pretty well. Obviously, we're not going to have them be a team, most likely, unless you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo, but you do have Pointy Teeth Rey for some reason. And Sidious is back as a pretty overpowered Kron. Like it's I think it's identical. I didn't compare them side by side, so maybe I'm a little wrong. Who knows? But level 9s look almost identical from what my memory shows from set like what 14 or 16, whatever it was, where he just solos things. You can't put him on defense alone. It's like having Wampa on defense alone. But Sidious is back to being pretty good. I don't think his level 3 and level 6 are going to support him as well as they used to. So we'll just have to see how that goes. One thing that's interesting though is the Sith now, if you kill someone, you don't get to revive them. And it's an interesting thing because it, like, of all the factions, Sith kind of don't need that as much. Sith are really good at permanent death, right? Like Sith Eternal does that with his ultimate. Lord Vader does that with his ultimate. And Traya does that with Nihilus included. Maybe I'm even forgetting some more, but like Sith tend to be the faction that you wouldn't need that as much. Permanent death. But we get that as a level 6, so that's interesting. Keep in mind, folks, even though Dooku is a Sith, his Datacron is a Separatist one. And that's important because his is one of the better ones out there. Anyways, speaking of Separatists, looks like I kept a picture of Shin on this side. That's fine. We're all fine with that, I think. So I didn't put this on the infographic, guys, but the Poggle level 9 looks like it's really good with Geos. If you're going to use Geos, I don't think it's enough to really make a Geonosian team really strong in GAC or something, though if you're early game or even mid game, that could be pretty good. And then of course the Poggle Omicron makes the Geonosian team in Territory Wars a lot more viable, so you might really get some good traction out of that. It's kind of niche in a lot of ways if you're an end game player who's trying to get Datacrons and stuff, but chances are you're not going to be using that Geoke squad that much. It's probably going to kind of having fallen into disrepair, and so it's still pretty good though. This is also a little bit sad, folks, because Grievous gets a really nice Datacron, and that's not sad. The thing that's sad about it is, honestly, my alt is gonna have to get him to Relic 5 now. He's been 4 for years, but no, that's also not the sad part. The current Datacron set that is not gonna dust, set number 20, has a really nice droidcron that works really well with General Grievous. Like it's really sad because we're just only gonna get to use that one for 2 months. I wish they had spaced them out so that we could have the Separatist ones from this set. Like it's set 22 instead, but instead we're getting this. So, I mean, hard to complain about 6 full months of General Grievous dominance, but it would have been nice to have 8, honestly. And there's a couple other instances of these Datacrons that kind of make you think they just don't want you to use set 20 at all. It's very strange. So Rebel Fighters, this one hits a lot of different squads, folks, and that's fine. We just got done with the Rebel set. That one's gonna dust here pretty soon, and that's fine. There are a lot of Rebel Fighters and factions that work with this. So like Drogon obviously works really nicely with Leia Organa, Galactic Legend Leia. The Rogue One team also has a lot of Rebel Fighters in it. The Saw team, obviously, and Mon Mothma. The thing to keep in mind here, folks, is the Bodhi-Cron looks pretty strong, but it only works if you have a Rebel Fighter leader, which with Mon Mothma is not, and neither is Admiral Raddus, neither is Leia, so you kind of have to put Bodhi with Saw. The problem is, then Saw really wants to use his own, because if someone dies, so if Saw is with Luthen and Luthen summons Worthless Guy, right, Commander Worthless Guy, and Commander Worthless Guy dies, then Saw immediately gets a turn. He can shoot his awesome shot that insta kills everyone, and it's really cool. But that means you're also excluding Bodhi from that team, in which case Bodhi doesn't get to do as many cool things, and it's just kind of tragic. We'll have to experiment with that team and just see how exactly that all interacts. But this happened to Bodhi last time when there was when the Datacron came out. Chirrut just barely beat him out. They were both really strong crons, but because it's exclusive, Bodhi's cron is exclusive to using him with Saw, it's just not going to, it's not comparing favorably right now, unfortunately. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully Saw does end up, I don't know, hopefully we find a use for Bodhi this time, folks. Stay tuned for that. Obviously, when I come out with my 3v3 and 5v5 teams, we'll parse that. We'll have more data by that point. Bad Batch is interesting because right now there's still the bespoke cron for Hunter, right? And that it's really good. It's really strong, but it's for mercenaries, and that typically is going to go with a Balin team. But if you want to use the new Bad Batch team to its fullest extent, obviously you're going to need Hunter and Wrecker, and if you use all that team with the bespoke cron, which is still pretty good with them, even though it's for mercenaries specifically, then you're not going to be using the new set 21 Bad Batch stuff, which also looks really good, and we're going to have to navigate that as well, folks. I mean, maybe 3v3 will be able to come up with 2 different teams. Who knows? Right now, it looks like Batcher is probably the best one for that team if you're going to be able to use it. Obviously, a lot of people, we only have 2 of these characters farmable right now, right? Like, so none of us have the full team in terms of it being fully operational. And then the other thing is, I'm just not convinced that the old Bad Batch is even going to be that usable, even with their new Datacron set. The tech one looks kind of cool because he gets all of his cooldowns reset, but do we need tech to do that, to be able to make that team perfect? I mean, maybe. It's really strong to be able to just constantly try to stun people with his just spam his AoE stun move and cleanse everyone. It is nice. Is it necessary? Is it necessary that I drink my own urine? No. But I like to, because it's sterile and I like the taste. So, let's talk about focus Datacrons here a little bit. So, by the way, guys, that was a dodgeball quote. If you thought I was being real about that, if you thought that was a real thing, then it probably is. It's probably true. So the focus Datacrons are going to be interesting, folks. They're going to be nice because you get a bunch of stats and you know all the abilities that you're going to get without having to reroll and everything. They're also really, really, really expensive, folks. Like crazy, mind-numbingly overpowered expensive, and you're only getting it for one team, right? So we're gonna have to balance that, and I don't know how to balance that yet. I don't know how that's gonna work. We'll probably be working on more videos and stuff, but you can find the priority level on the focus Datacrons and stuff on the infographic that I put out, that's linked in the video description in my Discord server. So go check that out. So the first one that we're going to talk about here is the Scion of Jango one. This one is just, I mean, it's very explicitly going to be with Fennec, but then you can also put other bounty hunters there. And this one's really interesting because you don't necessarily even need Scion of Jango to make this overpowered, or at least potentially useful, because if you have Jabba, there's the level 9, I believe it is. Remember, there's 15 levels on these things, so I think it's the level 9 though. Is whenever an enemy is defeated, bounty hunter allies gain bounty hunter's resolve, and that's the majority of the Hutt cartel faction, or at least like the Jabba group, right? What's his name? Skando isn't part of it. He's not a bounty hunter, but the rest of them are. So it's interesting, right? Like whenever an enemy's so you could actually, whenever an enemy's defeated, I don't know exactly how that's going to interact with Night Sisters, but I'm curious if that's just going to stop Night Sisters from working, because bounty hunter's resolve, remember, is when someone has it, not only can they ignore taunt, they can also they also get to revive one time. And so if the Night Sisters are consistently killing themselves, it just says whenever an enemy is defeated, like all bounty hunter allies gain bounty hunters resolve. So I'm wondering if that's going to stop it, or maybe it's more specific to like if the bounty hunter actually kills the model instead of the model like killing itself, kind of. So I'm really interested to see how this works. One way or another, it does work with a bounty hunter or with a Jabba team, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw this tech every once in a while in 3v3 especially, though 5, I mean, it's gonna be such a strong, ridiculously strong team using it with Scion of Jango with Fennec in 3s and 5s on its own. And they specifically, they also have verbiage that says in like, you get all these amazing, crazy, overpowered buffs as long as your opposing team isn't an Empire Galactic Legend, which is obviously Lord Vader. So I thought that was funny. The Aphra one is really interesting. Obviously, you're going to need Aphra for this one. It has a ton of potency on it. And this one is another one that makes us feel like they're trying to help us ignore set 20. This is set 21. We're ignoring set 20 because the Hutt cartel is just gonna get so smoked here, guys. If you read this thing that's talking about, like, if you have all dark side droid characters or Darth Vader or Chrysanthemum, then your dark side droids are immune to thermal detonators, which is obviously like the Jabba thing. This is going to, I even think Aphra is going to kill Jabba in 3s, guys. This is going to be ridiculously strong. If you have Aphra, this is obviously a must get. I mean, only behind the Scion of Jango one, but this one is crazy, guys. This one is, I'm really excited to use it. I love it when Aphra gets a good Datacron, folks. It's a lot of fun. I know that this team is kind of luxury a lot of times, since there's the whole long stretches of time where it's not that usable, but it's really nice. The Zaalbar Kron is interesting. I think it looks like it's explicitly used for, like, gonna be used with the new Zaalbar Omicron. So if you're not going to get the new Zaalbar Omicron, this isn't going to be quite as good. The one thing that I will point out, it's going to be good regardless, even if you don't have Zaalbar on the team at all, because it has up to 100% defense, which is just nice to have. We haven't had a Kron with defense percentage on it for a long time, and this one actually has some. So you could get it just for that purpose, though that's pretty expensive if you want to do it just for that. But one of the things, the one that I copy pasted here for the mechanics, mission revives. You know how mission like just dies instantly in 3v3 if you have Darth Revan, Zaalbar, and mission, and so she dies immediately, so people can cheese it by like sending one person in and killing mission, and then you're good to go. And then you send another team and mission's not there and you're not getting the buffs. Well, now if she dies, she immediately revives right away, so you can't cheese it, and it looks really strong. Also, every time Zaalbar takes a turn, he makes Juhani taunt, and Juhani's the one who's gaining 400% offense every single time, and she's gonna ramp super quick. I think. I'm really interested to see how this Datacron works, guys. I'm so excited for these focused ones, but they're so expensive. These 3 combined to be like 90 million DataCat, 90 something DataCat. It's insanity. 90,000. No one knows. I forget the numbers. Finally, we have the Hera one, and this one looks pretty good. It's sad because some of the stuff, some of the verbiage in it says like you can't really use it on Galactic Legends. That's fine, but it does seem like we're going to find some use for it. Just keep in mind that the Rebel Fighter Crons are going to also play tug of war with Captain Rex and his Datacron. So, you know, because he's going to want to go with those teams as well. So how to choose: Grievous looks really strong. The Saw Rebel Fighters look really strong, guys. There's a few level 9s that look really strong, and then Focus Datacrons are gonna be really good if you have the right team for it. But realize that one Focus Datacron is going to cost about the same as 4 other level 9 Datacrons, which is very expensive for most people. So, yeah. Shop wisely, folks, and that's all I'm gonna say for now. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, folks. Did I miss something? Are you excited for Datacrons now Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.